How's it going?
All good, all good. Here we are.
Good. So, Daniel, I have to ask you, one of the things I really liked about the movie was some of the nods to horror. I like that the ship was called the Murnau, and you did like an Iris Inn at one point. I thought that was really cool.
Yes,
And so
nice.
I wanted to ask if that was fun bringing some horror elements into the superhero genre, because we don't see that much.
Yeah, it was a blast because first, I didn't know if I was allowed, because, horror has been, regarded as, kind of a lesser culture, somehow. But I love horror, and I love old horror, so the more I could fit it in, you can also see, like, if you look at the desk behind him, there are other small kind of like old horror symbols. So yeah, that was a blast. I'm a nerd, so I kind of like to fill things out. Yeah.
Adria, I read something really cool that you used AOC a bit as a reference for your character, and I was just wondering if you could talk a little bit about that. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, when we sort of came up with that together, we were like, how does Martine talk and stuff? And it was very much at the beginning of AOC's career, and it was, it's a woman that comes from lower income to middle class family who has pushed herself to be where she is right now, and really relies on her intellect and is not afraid to interrupt a man, is not afraid to be the smartest in the room. And I think Martine is very much like that. She's not afraid to sometimes correct Dr. Morbius and be wrong or right. I think she's the only person that has the courage to talk to him a little bit, stronger, and to tell him when he's right and when he's wrong. So that part of it and the way that she speaks with such conviction was really much where I went towards AOC.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. So as a self-proclaimed nerd, was it fun playing in the Marvel sandbox? And are you psyched to now kind of be part of the multiverse? I would think.
No, I'm psyched. I'm super psyched. But it was also terrifying,
Yeah.
because I've been sitting on the other side, just filling myself with hate, talking, because that's what you do. You like to kind of decipher things and find the wrongs, and then suddenly you're on the other side of that microscope. But I think that this next couple of years within the Marvel world is going to be very exciting, and I think it's going to be very thrilling to see over how we are going to deal with, this new world. One, as you know, the kind of multiverse has existed in the Marvel universe for decades. So as a person who loves comic books, it was something we've been waiting for.
Sure.
So, and I think it's gonna give clever and interesting ideas in the future.
Adria, one of the things that I liked about your character specifically in a movie like this is that they're not always, when you get a big superhero movie, it's easy to lose the focus on the characters because of all the action and stuff. But I thought that you did ground the movie to a certain extent because you had a really great relationship with Leto's character in the film with Morbius, and I liked the whole maybe not a romance, but like the quasi romance between the two of you. I was just wondering if you could talk a little bit about that, because that was something that I thought was fresh and original.
Oh, thank you, by the way.
Oh, pleasure.
I'm flattered. Yeah, I think that is really all Daniel. I think Daniel, like I think I've said before, that
it's not true. I mean, it's also because you're like a God-given talent, one of the strongest actresses, that's also part of it,
I mean, I just think he really set the bar up really high for all of us, and wasn't afraid to challenge us and wasn't afraid to push us. He wanted to make the best version of this movie possible, and I love their relationship. As a true romantic at heart, there was something that sort of broke inside of me every time I read a scene with them. They did have this ticking time bomb and of time. They didn't know how much they had left, and so that would sort of push them away for each other. They were like, why would we do that? Why would we hurt each other more? And that sort of always broke my heart. So when the whole transformation happens and the idea of that possibility opens, it's daunting, I think, on both of them, and I don't think neither of them know how to handle it. So I love that. I love that sort of romantic through line, but they both they stand their own ground as individual characters, and that's on this guy.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you making time.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Michael Morbius. Discover who you're meant to be. The bad guy.
Michael, what have you done?
I was trying to help people. But the cure.
It's a curse.
Michael.
I have powers that can only be described as superhuman. But there's a cost. Now, I face a choice. To hunt and consume blood. Or die.
We all have monsters within us. It's up to us to control it.
What if I can't?
Michael Morbius.
You've been given a gift.
Not exactly.
Time to let go of what you used to be. Discover who you're meant to be.
All our lives we've lived with death. Why shouldn't they know what it feels like for a change? Just accept who you are.
The bad guy.
Morbius.
Holy water? Really?
Yeah. You ever see Lost Boys?
Story of my life.
A new Marvel legend arrives exclusively in movie theaters April 1st.